Hello everyone, welcome back again to the channel, and I am here right now at beautiful UP Soler, okay, School of Labor Relations, School of Labor and Industrial Relations. That's what UP Soler stands for. I found UP Soler because it was a good quiet spot where we could shoot this vlog and reel. Apparently right now there's an ongoing UP fun run, and in the other schools and other eating places and eating joints, a lot of people are hanging out there, so it's really crowded. I found this place in UP that's really quiet, and it's a beautiful Sunday morning where it's very gloomy. There are still some cars that come around, and there are still, hello there, thank you. There are still some cars that come around, but we no longer have to pay any mind to them because, ooh, there's a dog and a cat fighting. Okay. We are here this morning because we are reviewing the Husqvarna Vitpilen 401. Okay, so this is the 2025 version. It's an all-new motorcycle. Okay, it's not just updated. It's an all-new motorcycle. It's a new engine totally, and then it shares the same engine with the KTM Duke 390. Okay, so let me get into the specifics right away of what I love about this motorcycle. First of all, what you should do is to make sure, if you don't know Husqvarna yet, you should stop right now, go to YouTube, and then look for Yummy Noob. So that's YAMMIE, and then N as in November, NOOB. Yummy Noob, and then type Husqvarna. And then he gets into this latest episode that he has. Just look for the latest episode where he goes into detail about the history of Husqvarna, how it started, and what is the deep, rich racing heritage that Husqvarna already has. So they're not just known for their chainsaws, okay? They're also not known for just their guns. So just like BSA, Husqvarna started as an arms manufacturer. In fact, the logo of Husqvarna is the sight that you use to aim. It's like you're looking down the barrel of a gun. So that's what the logo of Husqvarna is like. And then it already got passed on from one parent to another, kind of like an orphan that got passed on from one foster home to another. So this is what Husqvarna is. It already went through, it got bought by, hello. It got bought by BMW, it got sold by BMW, it got bought by an Italian company, and then finally it was bought by the Austrian motorcycle company known as KTM. So that's why they share the same engine as KTM. In fact, just like what Yummy Noob said, the slogan of Ready to Race actually came from Husqvarna, and then KTM just adopted it. So, ganun na yung storya ni Husqvarna. He traveled from one foster home to another because people didn't know what to do with it. But now, they already enjoy the good home and partnership with KTM. So that's what Husqvarna is now. They have a huge line, a long line of motorcycles with the 401, the 701. They have another variant called the Vitpilen, and then they also have enduro motorcycles and motocross motorcycles. Actually, I can't wait to try the Norden. That's one of the biggest motorcycles I want to try out with Husqvarna. So, let's get right into it. What do we love about the Vitpilen so much? First of all, what we love about the Vitpilen is this huge headlight. Okay, so this headlight shines, doesn't shine, sorry. This headlight is bright at night. Okay, it really is. The low beam is already sufficient enough. I found myself no longer needing to use a MDL or a mini driving light or auxiliary light, whatever you want to call it. But it's already sufficient and bright enough. And then if you want to go high beam, it really illuminates a huge part of of the road ahead at night. So I really found it to be sufficient. I mean, look at it. It's huge. It's ginormous, right? So what I also like about the Husqvarna motorcycles now, this falls into the category of neo retro cafe racer. Okay, so it's the kind of motorcycle the Vitpilen is. Now, when you say cafe racer, immediately you'll think clip-ons, right? And then you'll be riding with a hunched back that's really strenuous for long rides. Not this one, okay? So this time, the 2025 edition, they already got rid of the clip-on handlebars. It's already a straight handlebar like that. But when you ride it, you will notice that you're still in a form of semi-raising position because you're still hunched over just a little bit, okay? So they already have these bars now right here, and then what I like about it is that you don't see the gauges. Later on we'll talk about the gauges. You don't see the gauges much because when you're seated on it, all you see is the road, okay? All you see is the road, and then when you want to go at speed, you just hug the tank with your legs, and then you just go. You just go, go, go. So going back to the light, it's really nice and big. If you put this on any other motorcycle, it won't work. Really. These lines right here, you won't know what to do with it, right? The design language of the Husqvarna is so unique that when you're a new person who sees the Husqvarna for the first time, you'll act like a dog, like you were given a new dish, right? Have you seen that when they tilt their head like, what do I do with you? That's how Husqvarna is. But the longer you stay with it, the longer you ride it, the more and more you'll find that you're falling in love with it. So that's how it is now. Again, on any other motorcycle, these lines right here, they won't work. This huge ginormous headlight right there, it won't work. And also, especially this cowl. Look at this cowl. It's so huge and bulky and black and round. It's weird. The first time you look at it, it looks like the helmet of the stormtroopers in Spaceballs. For you titos and titas out there, you know that movie, right? So it's weird when it's put here, but when it's on the Vitpilen, it works. It really works. But first, if you put that on any other motorcycle, it won't look as appealing. So I like the fan also right here with the radiator, and then it has a cover here that says Husqvarna, right? And then those lines go from here all the way up to here, and then after that it just bleeds into the swing arm right there. That is the line. But this one is still a straight line right here from the rear all the way up to the front. It's just like a straight arrow, right? So that's essentially, that's what the Vitpilen means, right? White arrow. So aside from that also, what I love about it is how fast it can go when you want it to, right? So pipiga ka lang ng konti, you'll know that, oh, you want more? It's like the engine is talking to you. You want more? I can give you more. Let's go. And then it's you're going to pick up speed and momentum immediately, right? And one other thing that you should know is that the TFT display is really beautiful. Just like what I talked about when I reviewed the Ducati Scrambler. Again, TFT displays are here to stay. TFT displays should already come as standard with all motorcycles moving forward, because the computer and the information you need, it should already be given to you readily in an instant like that. So at night you can see, sorry, not at night, but what I like about the TFT display is that, remember I told you earlier how you're riding forward and then all you see is the road. You don't have much visibility on what the TFT is until you look down, right? You don't have visibility on your gauges. But what I like about it is that if you already go up high on the rev range and then you already hit 6,000 or 7,000 RPM, the whole screen will turn green. That's your indicator that you should already upshift, right? So gear up, shift up, like that. So if you're on second gear, piga ng konti, and then it will turn green. And it's gonna be bright green. So what it means is that you don't even have to look at the screen. Your peripheral vision will already show you and tell you that, oh, okay, the screen is lit green, upshift ka na. Okay, and then banat again, bam, and then it'll light green, upshift again, banat ka na, ganon. So it's so racing oriented, right? That's what I like about it. You also have upside down forks that are adjustable. You don't get this standard issue. A lot of people, what they do is for entry level motorcycles, they have to modify their forks and their suspension, but this time it's already WP APX forks issued as standard. You also have a quick shifter. That's so cool. How good is that? Can you imagine you have an entry level motorcycle that has a TFT display that allows you to shift gears without you having to see the tachometer up to where you are in the rev range, and then after that you also have a quick shifter that allows you to just hello, it's no problem, don't worry. It also has a quick shifter that allows you to just shift up, shift up, shift up without anymore having to squeeze on the clutch. So again, if you are a novice rider, that's okay, right? You can learn how to use these tools and gadgets and nifty tools along the way. But if you are already an experienced racer, these are welcome things that you would want on your second bike, on your third bike, right? Because these things you have as upgrades, but they come standard issue for this Neo Retro Cafe Racer that is the Husqvarna Vitpilen, right? So aside from that, also you also have these lovely Michelin tires. Look at that, right? They are very, very gorgeous and handsome looking on this motorcycle. Okay, so you get a standard issue the cast wheels for the Vitpilen. Okay, I hope I get my hands on the Svart. The Svartpilen no longer has the metal cast wheels. Thank you, Lord, right? Because now the Husqvarna has listened to their customers. The Svartbilen now already has the rims or the rayos that are tubed. These ones are tubeless, right? So again, it's more racing oriented. The Svartbilen is more of a scrambler that allows you to do light off-roading. And one other thing that you should also appreciate if you are a first-gen Husqvarna owner, if you want to upgrade to the new 2025 Svartpilen or the Vitpilen, you will appreciate the higher clearance now. The bike now sits higher because it no longer has the exhaust that is way low down here. So hindi mo na kailangan magpa-reroute, right? So finally they listen to their customers, and then now it's much higher. Now you can go through speed bumps and humps without any worry that you're going to hit the catalytic or whatever component it is that's seated right there. Okay, so it's much higher now. That's the good part about it. So again, if you are an experienced racer, if you are an experienced motorcycle rider, and then you want a second bike or a third bike, do not overlook checking out the Vitpilen, right? If you are a novice rider and then you haven't tried and you haven't used a big bike before, do not overlook the Vitpilen because it already does, like I said, give you value for money. It's very, very cheap. If I'm not mistaken, this thing only costs around this thing only costs around like 325 or 329,000 pesos, if I'm not mistaken. I might have to update that in the description. I will attach later on. But please, please, please check out the Husqvarna Vitpilen because it really is an easy bike to ride. It's an easy bike to love. I would like to say one thing. Two things that I would like to give you a caveat on, or things that you should beware of. Number one, it's a thumper. It's a single cylinder, so definitely the higher you go up on the rev range, the more the vibrations will be. I was surprised that I was running at 60. I was running at only 60 inside UP earlier this morning, and already I could not see what was behind in my rearview mirror. That's how strong the vibrations were. Okay, so just like Yoda, he would always say the vibe is strong on this one. The vibe is strong on this one. So anyway, yes, the vibrations are really strong on this particular bike. It's understandably so because it's a single cylinder, but if you get to experience other single cylinders that are smoother, then this one will become really noticeable. Okay, so that's the first zing that I would say about the Vitpilen, the Husqvarnas for this particular variant. The second thing that I would like you to take note of is the sound of the exhaust. Okay, so I am not a fan particularly of the sound of this motorcycle, particularly the engine, because it does what it reminds me of is the engine of a small fishing boat without riggers, right? So it really, I don't know how to make that sound, but it really does not inspire you to ask someone to go on a race. Right? So, but that can easily be solved by just putting and attaching a slip-on, for example. Just a few, like 2 years ago or 1 year ago, Husqvarna's BGC put out a promo that if you buy a motorcycle from them now, they will include as free and standard a Terminioni exhaust. So, yes. So you all know how we all love the sound of Terminionis. For those of us who love the sound of Terminionis, you will know what I mean. So the minute you put a Terminioni exhaust right there, then mas magiging guwapo at macho na yung tunog niya na brum, ganon. But this time, no, standard issue, it is not inspiring. It doesn't exude machismo when you hear the sound of this engine. So two things. Number one, the vibration, I'm not really a fan of. I would understand it's a single cylinder, so it becomes such a thumper at the high rev range, but also another second thing is the sound of the engine. There's a lot more to be improved with it because it really does sound like a small fishing boat. Again, right? Kung nakabili ka na ng Husqvarna, bili ka na rin ng Terminioni, right? So just put that there, attach it so that it can easily be fixed. Other than that, what is not to love? Please do consider buying, please do consider test riding first a Husqvarna Vitpilen, so that you will know what I'm talking about. So, if you're in the market to buy a motorcycle, if you're starting out to get into the big bike scene, do not overlook the Husqvarna Vitpilen. Okay? When you get one, the first thing I would recommend is change the exhaust. Okay, get rid of the catalytic converter, put a Terminioni exhaust, slip on, and then enjoy the symphony of the sound it makes. Yes. Secondly, I would also remove these mirrors right here and then attach bar ends. Okay, that's the second thing I would recommend. And then the third thing is make sure that you have a lot of muscles with your thighs, because you are going to hug this tank like a huge crybaby, and then you're just going to run, and then race toward the sunset, because it really is a fun motorcycle to ride. You will have a lot of fun and you're going to share a lot of memories with this baby once you get to own one. So again, remember, buy the Husqvarna Vitpilen, enjoy it. Until then, ride safe, everybody. I'll let you know when I get the Svart, if it's lent to me. I would like to give a big shout out to Martin and the KTM and Lucky Mappy and Motor Ace. Thank you very much for lending me this motorcycle and letting me enjoy it. And then after that, when I get back to you, hopefully I am lent the Duke. Let's see if we can also borrow that and test try it also, or the Svart. Okay, so but with however which way, like I said, test drive this baby, try it out. Make sure when you're going to buy a motorcycle, you do not overlook the Vitpilen, especially if it fits right smack into your budget range. Okay, so I'll see you next time, guys. Make sure that you all ride safe. Enjoy, everybody. Till then, see you next time.